Okay, before we begin, I have two announcements. First, as you know, our final exam will be on week 16, June 4th. Now, this semester, the school has decided that during each class's final exam, there will be school officials walking around outside to make sure nothing weird goes on. So just to let you know, if you are inclined to party in the hallways after you're done with your exam, you might want to reconsider. And the second announcement is last week, we talked about the last question on page 11, right? Question 18. And I gave you the answer, for whom English is their native tongue. This answer is correct, but there is a better answer. So the better answer is, if we take a look at what is repeated, it's the idea of people. So people appears in the first sentence here, but in the second sentence, it appears here as part of the word there. So the better answer is people, page 11. Last question on page 11. People whose, because they're, right, belonging to them. Whose, and then it's a bit counterintuitive, but you keep going. Whose native tongue, right? So you need the adjective and the noun, and then you go back to the beginning. Is English. Now, again, both answers are correct, and both answers are also require you to do a little more work. So that is some extra information for you. Okay, this week, wait, hang on. Homework. Page 12. Let's see. 8 mistakes. First is already corrected, so we need 7 mistakes. Delete verbs, change pronouns, add words where necessary. Do not change punctuation. Okay, let's see. First one is here. This is not correct. We're talking about people. So this should be many of whom with an M. Next one is here. You can say who are from, or you can just take out the who. The third one is here. Most of whom. The next one is here. In English, you cannot connect two complete sentences with one comma. In fact, we're going to talk about this today. But here you need to tell the reader that the second half of this sentence is connected to the first half in some way. And that way, for this unit, is to use a relative clause. So this should be, we're talking about food. So this should be most of which. Next is here. We are talking about actors. So this should be some of whom. Now, it is true, you can use the word that for people, but if you use that, you cannot like add a preposition in front of that. So if it begins with of, you cannot add that. So here your only choice is whom with an M. Next one is here. You have two choices. Everyone who is famous or just everyone famous. Here you have two choices. Those movies, or I guess three choices. Those movies that starred, those movies which starred, or those movies starring. Okay, is that 7? Yeah, 7, 6. We're missing one. Oh boy, what are we missing? Uh, did anyone catch another one that I didn't see? Oh, we did 7? Oh, okay, okay, great. Thank you. Questions about this page? Okay, yeah. So here, um, the movies that starred, the movies which starred, or the movies starring. Okay, other questions about this page? All right, let's move on. Page 13. Number 1 are people, so it's whom. Number 2 is a person, and it's their classes, so it's whose. Number 3, of whom. Number 4, which. Number 5, who is the subject, right? The verb is are. So it's the subject who, not object whom. Number 6, interested. Anyone who is interested. Number 7, born. If you have was born, you need who. Who was born? Number 8, including. Questions about this part? Okay, next part. 5 mistakes. Who begin? When you read up to this point, nothing is wrong, but then you get to the end of the sentence and the sentence is not over. So you must have missed something. And you realize, oh, the main verb is develop. So this must be part of a relative clause. Who begin? Whom? We're talking about people, most of whom. Which? We're talking about aspects, not people. Which? Including. Finally, here you can say which is, that is, or just go from attitude to soon and just take out the is. Okay, questions about this part? All right, next page. 10 mistakes. Uh, okay, let's see. It said it corrected. Oh, here it is. I see it. I see it. Here it is. Okay. That or which? Hang on. It has to be that. There is another very obscure rule that says if your relative clause comes after an indefinite pronoun, like something, anyone, anywhere, it has to be that. You can't use which. I think that's a kind of silly rule, right? If you use which, we know what you're talking about. Why can't we use which? But you can't. Has to be that. Next, one of those tests, which or that, show you. Next, involving. Yes. Most interested in things involving being on stage. That is correct. Next, this should be which. What are we talking about? We're talking about the whole situation. This is a sentence which. The word which here means this. You're replacing the whole sentence with one word. Here, which seem or that seem. Here, take out the they. So just that tell you. Here, it could be that or which. Some things is not the same as something. Something is an indefinite pronoun. Some things, the word things is just a regular noun. So you can use which if you want, which or that. Here, who, it's a subject, right? The verb is. Who is classified. Or you can just take it out. I'm a person classified as. Here, who, you're talking about a person, someone who. Here, we're talking about a place, right? Dormitory. So this is where. Okay, questions about this page? Did we get 10? Okay, great. No questions. Okay, so that's the homework. This week, we're talking about coordinating conjunctions. How do you put together two complete sentences? And we have to learn about this because, as I said, you cannot simply put together two complete English sentences with one comma. This sentence is incorrect. You cannot simply connect two complete sentences with one comma. Now, I'll give you a little tip. If you're really lazy or you're in a very big hurry, just change this to a semicolon and you're good to go. In English, A semicolon is used for two purposes. One, you can use a semicolon to connect two complete sentences. Now, there are certain considerations for why you should not use a semicolon for every connection. The main idea here is if you use a semicolon, you're asking the reader to think about what the connection means. What is the relationship between these two sentences? It's not a good idea to ask your reader to do a lot of work. So we'll come back to semicolons later. The second use of semicolons is actually not related to today's topic. It is when you're making a list and some items in your list themselves have multiple items. So like this is just, this is not today's topic, but since we're talking about semicolons. So here we have a shopping list. There are three places where this person should go. One place that sells fast food, one place that sells groceries, like vegetables, and one place that sells toys. So it's three major items, but inside each item, you have three minor items, A, B, and C. So here, the semicolon is separating the major items. So that's the second use of semicolons in English. But we're not talking about semicolons. We're talking about coordinating conjunctions. So English only has 7 coordinating conjunctions, and you really only need to, hang on. You only need to know 5, maybe 6. Let me show you. These are the 7 coordinating conjunctions. These are the words you need to use to connect two complete sentences. For example, if you use and. Okay, so when you use a coordinating conjunction, you must have this comma. It's comma space conjunction. So you cannot only use a comma, but if you use a coordinating conjunction, you have to have a comma. So each of each of these first 5 represents a different logical connection. And means that these two sentences go together. They're moving in the same direction. The information in each sentence does not contradict the information in the other sentence. Nothing in this combined sentence should surprise you. It all goes in the same direction. And is also, you can also use it to create a list because lists all go in the same direction. And you can do that using complete sentences also. I like hamburgers. He likes Coke, and she likes fries. So this is a list, right? A, B, and C, but each item is a complete sentence. You can do this with and because they're all going in the same direction. If you're all going in the same direction, you can add more people to your group and it doesn't change anything. Next, we have but. But means you're going in opposite directions. So this means maybe you're expecting her in this sentence to also like hamburgers, but no, instead she likes fries. This is unexpected. This is going in a different direction. Now, the word but has actually another commonly used meaning, which is except for. This is not a coordinating conjunction. This is just extra information. Yeah. So, but means except. In this case, the word but is functioning as an adverb. Wait, no. Except, yeah, as an adverb. So sometimes you'll see a sentence that flips that. This just means except for the fries. And then finally, in this use of the word but, another word that has this meaning is save. So I like everything there, save for the fries. Same thing. So this is just to remind you, the word but does not only occur in between two complete sentences like this, but has another meaning as well. The third one. Uh, okay, this is where it starts getting a bit weird. Or means you have a choice. Okay, so we should choose another verb because like doesn't make sense here. I buy hamburgers or she buys fries. You can only choose one. You can clarify this logical connection by adding the word either in front. Either also means choose one. Now again, or has another meaning that we talked about before, which is you use or to construct a negative list. I don't like burgers or fries means I don't like burgers and I don't like fries. It's a negative list. Okay, next is the word so. So means therefore. So if you use the word so, the first half is the cause and the second half is the effect. So this sentence is saying that she likes fries because I like hamburgers. The idea apparently is that she does not like something if I like it. Maybe she's my ex-girlfriend. I don't know. So means the first half is because is the reason, the second half is the effect. So also has a different use as well. Um, you can use the word so to replace part of a sentence, the part of the sentence after the verb. So here, this so just means that he is correct. I think we've talked about this before. You're using the word so to replace this half of the sentence. The part that begins after the main verb. Okay, and then the last one is for. You don't see this one very often, but you do see it sometimes. For just means because. So in this sentence, because she likes fries, therefore I like hamburgers. So you might be asking yourself, why don't you just say because? Well, because in terms of grammar, They are different. For is a coordinating conjunction. It connects two complete sentences like this. But the word because is a subordinating conjunction. If you remember all the way back in week, I think 1 or 2, we talked about how if you use the word because, it fits into this part, the rest of the sentence. It's a reason to help explain the sentence. And so like if you put because at the end, you may not need the comma. If you put because at the beginning, you do need a comma. But if you use the word for, you don't have to worry about any of this, because if you use the word for, it looks like this. Because is part of this, but for connects two complete sentences. Now, once again, for has another meaning. For means in the experience of someone. For me, hamburgers are the best. In my experience. This is different from to me. To me means in my understanding, in my analysis. When I objectively think about this, I think this. But for means in my experience. It's not as rational, it's not as objective. Okay, so those are the 5 main coordinating conjunctions. And these are also the 5 main logical connections. Number 6, yet. As a coordinating conjunction, it is the same as but. You can replace but with yet, means the same thing. But yet also has another meaning. Where am I? Yet sometimes means the time. See, I can't even use the word. I can't even define the word without using the word. The time has not yet come. It's in the future. So she hasn't arrived yet, which means you are expecting her to arrive. And maybe she'll come here soon, but she's not here yet. In this case, the word yet is an adverb. But as a coordinating conjunction, it just means but. Finally, we have nor. You are very unlikely to use the word nor. Nor is a negative choice. So or is a positive choice. I don't think I'm saying that right. Nor is a negative conjunction. So let's see. So it has to be negative. I dislike hamburgers. So originally you would say, and she dislikes fries. All right, sentence A goes in the same direction as sentence B. But if you want, you can put this negative together with this conjunction. So it looks like this. Nor does she like fries. Well, I guess you have to say don't like. You can't use one word. I don't like hamburgers, nor does she like fries. So the first thing to notice is that the order of the sentence has changed. Right? Originally it is she plus verb, but now you have an extra do here. Because it's negative, it's one of those words like little few, neither, nothing. If you begin a sentence with these words, you have to flip the order of the verb and the subject. So we have a verb before the subject. It's an inverted sentence. The second thing you'll notice is because we do have a verb here, the first verb gives you the grammatical concept. So here it is third person singular. So you have to add S. So this S moves to the first verb. In this sentence, this is the first verb. But in this sentence, now this is the first verb. So the S moves here. And so this is just like. Okay, so this is technically how you use nor, but you're probably not going to use it. You have to be able to recognize it if you see it in the wild. A more common sentence using nor is to pair it with neither. Well, I guess let's use two third persons. Neither he nor she likes fries. So he doesn't like fries. He doesn't like fries. She doesn't like fries. Neither he nor she likes fries. And if you know who you're talking about, you can actually skip this part. Neither of them likes fries or neither likes fries. Let's see. I don't like hamburgers and she doesn't like fries. Okay, that works. If you both dislike the same thing, you can say neither, I nor she. You can say use nor, or you can say I don't like hamburgers and she doesn't like them. Same thing, right? We both dislike the same thing. Either. Or you can say, if you want to skip this repeated part, I don't like hamburgers and neither does she. So you're combining the not from here with the either. And you're omitting the repeated part like them. Okay, so those are the 7 coordinating conjunctions. And I said that we would get back to semicolons. So let's see, what logical relationships do we have so far? And going in the same direction, but going in opposite directions, or choose one. So, cause and effect. For, effect and cause. And nor, which is you're in fact going, both of you are going in the other direction. What if you have a sentence, or sorry, you have two sentences that you believe should go together, but you can't quite say what is the logical relationship that you want to highlight for your reader? There's like, if you think about any real world situation, pinpointing a specific logical relation is to simplify that relationship. I like hamburgers. She likes fries. These are two separate ideas, and they could be connected in many different ways, as we have just seen with all of the different examples. If you want your reader to think of more than one logical relation, or if the logical relation you have in mind is very subtle, very complex, it's not as clear as one of our 7 coordinating conjunctions, that is when you should use a semicolon. With the semicolon, you are telling your reader these two sentences are connected, but you're not telling them how. This is bad if you know how they're connected, you just are too lazy to say. But it is necessary if you know how they're connected and you cannot express that connection with only one coordinating conjunction. I guess speaking of like multiple coordinating conjunctions, we should also talk about and or, right? This is something you will sometimes see in English. I like hamburgers and or she likes fries, which just means or means choose one, and means both. And or means it could be both, or you could choose one. Okay, that's coordinating conjunctions. Do you have questions? All right, let's do some practice. Page 15. So in order to know when to use coordinating conjunctions, you have to be able to tell where a complete sentence ends and where the next complete sentence begins. So that's what this page is doing. Please add a period and capital letters if there is more than one complete sentence. There are only 4. Actually, let's do these together. Number 2. 张庭伟，好久不见。Number 2. Where does one sentence end and the next sentence begin? After which word? Can't hear you. Did you say friends? Okay, almost. It's friends and family. Here. You see it? Does this make sense? Okay, good. Right, so I is the subject, like is the verb, and then to get mail from my friends and family is everything else. And then you have a new noun. It does not fit in the structure of the first sentence. Friends and family, and comes before the last noun. So how do you fit a new noun into the first sentence? You can't. Therefore, the it must start a new sentence. Number 2. 陈思豪，诶，没有来。黄心如。Let me give you a hint. There are 3 sentences in this one. Here. So like number 3, right? We are all connected by our humanity. We need to help each other. We can all live in peace. So where is the end of the first sentence? Good, here. We is the subject, are is the verb. Sorry, are connected is the verb. And then by is a preposition. After a preposition, you can add a noun, but you cannot add 2 nouns. Therefore, this must be the beginning of sentence 2. Where does this sentence end? Good. Here. We is the subject, need to help is the verb, each other is the object, and you cannot just add a random noun to the same sentence. So this must be the third sentence. Good. Number 3. Sanjing. Sorry, number 4. Good. Oh, wait, hang on, hang on. There was a bad flood in Hong Kong, the streets. Is that the first sentence? So there is a null subject. We can ignore that. The main verb is was. Object, or the rest of the sentence, is a bad flood. Preposition in. After this, you can add one noun, Hong Kong. So is this the end of the sentence? Yes, good. The streets, subject, became verb. Raging streams is the object. Is this the end of sentence 2? Yes, good. And then luckily no one died in the flood is sentence 3. Make sense? Good. Number 5. Huang Xinru. Did I call on you again? Yeah. Okay, so yes. Good. Times. People is the subject, have used is the verb, needles is the object, and then you have a beginning time. So after this, you have a noun. Times is a noun. End of sentence. Good. And then good. Ago. So subject, verb, object. Period. And then invention. Did you say invention? Yeah, good. Here. Zippers, subject, are, verb, rest of sentence, a relatively recent invention. Period. Okay, good job. Questions about this part? Great, moving on. Add a comma where necessary. Okay, for this class, I'm going to ask that you do add this comma. There is no choice. It says A or B, you can only do A. You must add that comma. So let's do these together. Number 2.我刚才叫谁忘记了。好了，邓宇慈。Number 2. Good. My oldest brother, comma. My neighbor, comma. Good. And I went shopping yesterday. Good. Number 3, Wang Yunjie. Add commas. Good. Intelligent, comma. And then A, B, and C, right? A, comma, B, comma, and C. A, comma, B, comma, and C. It's a list. Uh-huh. Friendly, comma, and kind. Okay? Okay, good. Number 4, He Yankui. Number 4. Add commas. Joe, comma, and Mary. Good. Sue, comma, Dan, comma, Joe, comma, and Mary. Number 5, Durishan. Good. So birds, comma, flowers, comma, and landscapes. Number 6, Yanzahan. 哦，睡着了。王瑞琪。Good. So we have 3 actions: watch, listen, and read. So watch television, comma, listen to the radio, comma, and read the newspaper. Number 7, Kang Jingwei. Good. Lawyers, comma, doctors, comma, teachers, comma, and accountants. Number 8, Weihan. Okay, I think you're missing 2 commas. It's a list of 4 adjectives, right? So it's beautiful, comma, workable, comma, indestructible, comma, and rare. Okay? Okay, good. Number 9, Judy. Number 9, please. Good. My mother, comma, father, comma, grandfather, comma, and sisters. Number 10, Wang Yangchen. Add commas. In the second half, we have a list of actions, right? So moos is one action, roars is another action, and barks. So it should be moos like a cow, comma, roars like a lion, comma, and barks like a dog. Okay? Okay, good. Let's see. Let's take a short break. During the break, please do the next page. 简俊杰在吗？哦，不在诶。好，庄宇轩，number three, please. Sorry, number four. Where do we add a comma? No comma. Good. Number five. Also no comma. Number six. Jane, comma. Okay. Jane, comma. Do we need a comma after Ted? Yes, we do. In a list, A, B, or C, we do need a comma between the last two items. Otherwise, you're British. Well, this class is studying American grammar. Number seven. Wang Peiqi. Number seven, please. Where do we add the commas? Comma? Okay, Jane, comma, Ted, comma, and Anna. Good. Number eight. 三东燕。三东燕来吗？哼。魏群茂。李凯成。Number eight. Where do we add a comma? I'll give you a hint. You have to add a comma before a coordinating conjunction between two complete sentences. Good. Here. I waved at my friend is a complete sentence. She didn't see me is a complete sentence. This is a coordinating conjunction, so you need a comma here. Number nine, where do you add a comma? 凯成，继续。Number nine. 凯成，继续。Number nine. Okay, is this a complete sentence? Is this a complete sentence? So, do you need a comma here? Yes, you do. Yes, between two complete sentences in front of the conjunction. Right? Two complete sentences and is a coordinating conjunction. So you do need a comma here. If you need a comma here, then you need a comma here. It's the same thing. Okay, good. Number 10. Keep going. Number 10. Okay, so is this a complete sentence? Is this a complete sentence? So do you need a comma here? Good. You do not need a comma for number 10. Number 11, Zhang Liang. Okay, so this is a list. How many items do we have? Two, right? Do we need a comma for a list of two items? You do not. So number 11, no comma. Number 12, 张良继续. Good. Here, comma. This is a complete sentence. This is a complete sentence. Two complete sentences, one coordinating conjunction. Therefore, you do need a comma. Good job. Questions about this part? Okay, next part, number 3. 廖泽宏,泽宏. Yes, number 3. Where do we add the comma? Good. After house. Here. I call their house is a complete sentence. No one answered the phone is a complete sentence. You have but is a coordinating conjunction. Therefore, you need a comma here. Next one. Keep going. Good. No comma. Good. Number 5. Keep going. Apples, comma. And then good. Peaches, comma, and bananas. Good job. Number 6. 刘雨桐. Here, right? Good. I was hungry is a complete sentence. I ate an apple is a complete sentence. So is a coordinating conjunction. Therefore, comma here. Keep going. Number 7. Here. Here. No comma. Okay. Good. We only have one subject. Bill did this. Bill did that. Same guy. This is not a complete sentence. No commas. Good. One more. Number 8. Good. No commas. A and B. A list of 2 items. No commas. Number 9. 郭基荣. Where do you add the commas? I'll give you a hint. This is a list of 4 adjectives. Where do you add the commas? Okay, affectionate, comma, and then shy, comma, and then good, independent, comma, and smart. Good. One more, number 10. Here, it, here. Good. Started to rain it is a complete sentence. Who went inside and watched television is a complete sentence. This is a coordinated conjunction. Therefore, you do need a comma here. Good job. Questions about this page? All right, next page. I think we can do these together, right? Shouldn't be too hard. Number 1, 张同言. Where do we add a comma or commas plural? Number 1. Let's go one by one. Do you need a comma here? No, good. So it has to be somewhere here, right? If there is one. How many sentences is this? Is this 1 or 2? 2, good. Is this a coordinating conjunction? Did you say yes? You should say yes. Yes, good. So 2 complete sentences, 1 coordinating conjunction. You have to add a comma here. Blah, 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 comma, so, blah, blah, blah. Okay, good. Keep going. Number 2. Where do you add the commas? Trick question. You don't have to add commas. No commas necessary. Fear and distrust is 2 items only. No comma. One more. Number 3. I'll give you a hint. There are 4 commas in this sentence. Is this a complete sentence? Mozart was a great composer. Is that a complete sentence? Good. He had a short and difficult life. Is this a complete sentence? Good. So do you have to add a comma before but? Yes, good. So that's the first one. Second one, he was penniless, sick, and unable to find work. How many items is this? Penniless, sick, unable. 3, right? So where do we add the commas? Okay, so penniless, comma, and then sick, comma, and unable. Good. Last one. Is this a complete sentence? He was penniless, sick, and unable to work. Is this a complete sentence? He wrote music of lasting beauty and joy. Is this a complete sentence? But is this a coordinating conjunction? Say yes. So where do we add the comma? Good. Work, but, work, comma, but. Okay, good job. Number 4, Cai Wanqing. Okay, I think we need a few more commas. Land, comma, sea, comma, climate, comma, plants, comma, and animals. It looks like a list of 5 things. Yeah. Good. Do one more. Number 5. Good. Number 5, no commas. Okay, last one. Number 6. One more. I think your answer is 24 commas, right? It says 25 most common words. So it's a list of 25 words. And there has to be a comma between each 2. So using our math skills, 25 words, put 1 comma between each word, each pair. So that's 24 commas, right? Good. So it's the comma, and comma, a comma, 2 comma, of comma, I comma, in comma, was comma, that comma, a comma, he comma, for, you comma, for comma, had comma, is comma, with comma, she comma, has comma, on comma, at comma, have comma, but comma, me comma, my comma, and not. Okay, questions about this part? Great, moving on. Next part. Okay, it says, if you look at number 1, it says optional comma. No, it is not optional. You must add this comma. Number 2, Tony. Good. Salad, comma, main dish, comma, and dessert. Number 3, Eliza. No comma. Good. 2 items, no comma. Let's keep going. Eliza, number 4. Good. Son, comma, wife, comma, and daughter. Uh, number 5, Ding Ting Zhen. 有来吗? Yes, number 5. Where do we add the commas? Number 5, right? Trick question, no commas. Son's wife is one person. Right? So 2 people, no commas. Let's do number 6. Keep going. Okay, raised her hand, comma. Do we need a comma here? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Before the last item, you should add a comma. Okay? Okay. One more, just one more. Number 7. Good. Red, comma, yellow, comma, gold, comma, and olive green. This is one color, olive green. Good job. Number 8, Xu Zihan. Good. Action, comma, adventure, comma, and suspense. Keep going. Number 9. No commas. Good. And number 10. Prejudice, comma, bigotry, comma, and narrow-mindedness. Okay, good job. Questions about this part? All right, next part. Okay, Edna, number 1. Good, no commas. Number 2. Keep going. Calm, comma, quiet, comma, and serene. Good job. Number 3, keep going. No commas. Good. Look at this. Practiced doing this and doing that. Hang on, there is a comma. There is a comma in this sentence. Good. Here, ball, comma, and. They ran laps is a complete sentence. So you do need a comma before and. Almost got us. Okay, number 4. 谢子妮，在吗？ No. 曾小琪 number 4. Good. Kicking, comma, throwing, comma, and running. Number 5, keep going. Trick question, no commas. Look, collected A and B, 2 things. Not 3 things, 2 things. So you don't need a comma. Keep going, number 6. Sit down, comma, be quiet, comma, and open their reading books. Good. Number 7, Wang Yuqi. How many items is this? 2, right? So do you need a comma? No, you don't. 2 items, you don't need a comma. Right? Yeah, okay. So keep going. Number 8. So expands is a verb. Contracts is a verb. Do you need a comma? 2 of them. So do you need a comma? No. Good. Number 9. Keep going. Two cups of coffee, comma. 3 glasses of water, comma. 1 glass of orange juice, comma, and 3 orders of eggs. Good. One more, last one. No commas. Good job. Questions about this page? All right. Next page, we get something a little different. So we've been looking at how items have to compare, right? Verbs with verbs, adjectives with adjectives, nouns with nouns, and even sentences with sentences. In this, I guess, letter, there are 10 mistakes in this kind of structure. Right? Remember, across one conjunction, they all have to have the same grammar. I'll give you the first one as a hint. This is a coordinating conjunction. So in front, it's ing. Behind, it's to be. One of these has to change. It has to be the same kind of grammar. Okay, there are 9 more of these mistakes. I'll give you 8 minutes. I feel like you're stuck. If you want more time, please raise your hand. Okay, Tony, I'm sorry, you're outvoted. So we're gonna begin early. Oh, great, you're back. We're just gonna begin this page. Let's do page 18 together. So the first one, as we said, before and after or should be the same. I think it's better to change this to complain. Because this is going to be, sorry, this is, he's talking about what he's going to do in this letter. So using to plus a verb gives you a sense of expectation. So I do not like to complain or to be a nuisance. Okay, so here, not only, but also the two parts here also have to match. So this one, verb, runs through my living room, but also there's no verb. So we should fix this by moving the runs outside of this structure. The proposed new highway runs not only preposition through my living room, but also preposition into my swimming pool. That way it matches. So not only A, but also B. The A and the B have to have the same grammar. So currently A has a verb, but B does not. It looks like they use the same verb. So we can move the verb outside of the structure. And then everything else would match. Okay, next. The clerk was rude, and it's a comma and an and, so this should begin with a subject. But instead it gives you a that. So we can just take out this that. The clerk was rude, comma, and he took my complaint lightly. Next, either or. Just like not only but also, the structure after each one should be the same. Either A or B, and A and B have to have the same grammar. So be glad the road didn't touch the breakfast nook. Okay, a breakfast nook is an area of the dining room or the kitchen. So it looks like it's comparing, or not comparing. It looks like it's bringing up two places in the house. So we should move the either here after touch. Should be glad the road didn't touch either the breakfast nook or the kitchen. See, then it matches. Okay, next, I have written, comma, and therefore you have said. Like technically, this is not a parallelism problem. It doesn't have to match, but the future tense is wrong. If you want to say that like each time I have written you, you have always given the same response, you can use the simple present tense. You say, you always say. But because the question is asking about matching grammar, we can match the grammar, no problem. You have said. Okay, next, I am angry, adjective, and in the mood, preposition, doesn't match. So we have to change this to a prepositional phrase or this to an adjective. Or we can rewrite the whole sentence. Let's see how we can fix this. Okay. Let's add a verb to both of them. I feel angry and we can change in the mood to, let's say, want, and want to take legal action. That way, both of these are starting with a verb. Next, or, right? So the first one, moving, ing. The second one, to cancel, is to plus verb. So one of these has to change. I think it's better to change the second one into canceling, because here it is considering two possible solutions, right? So you have solution A, solution B. So in fact, it's treating these as nouns. There is no element of expectation. So moving the highway or canceling it entirely. Finally, I expect you, again, to cooperate and that you will. So these do not match. I think we could just change this to to. I expect you to cooperate and to fire the clerk. How many is that? 8? Okay, we're missing. Wait, did you count this one? Did you count this one? So it's 9? Okay, so we're missing 1. Okay, I see it here. How many possible solutions is this? 2. So this should be are the only solutions. That's 10, right? Okay, great. Questions about this page? Yes. Oh, here. So there's no, you don't have to add a comma here. Oh, sorry. So I have written to you 3 times already. This is fine. Or being a nuisance. Yes, you can. In this case, the grammar in both is for both options is fine. But I personally think changing it to complain is a bit better. But like changing it to being a nuisance is not wrong. Okay. Yes. Okay. Good question. So, uh, yes, usually the word they is plural. But if you don't know or don't want to say the gender of the person, you can use what's called a singular they, using they for one person. In this case, the grammar will not match the situation. So the verb after should, if you can choose, will still be plural. Did I say it wrong? The verb after they, sorry. The verb after they, if you can choose, will still be plural, even if you're talking about one person. But if people are persecuted, you can if you want to. It's not a mistake, but if you feel like that's a better sentence, you can. Good. Other questions? All right, moving on. Okay, yes, this is also about parallelism. This is a PowerPoint slide. Yes, so the principle for writing one of these PowerPoint lists is that the grammar should be the same for each item. And there's something weird going on with the title as well. Best careers for parakeets, semicolon paper shredder, 碎纸机. What are we talking about? Is there a reason why it's talking about paper shredders? Okay. It is saying that the best job for a parakeet is to work as a paper shredder. to get this bird to rip up your documents for you. Okay, yeah. So I'll give you 7 minutes to try to fix this PowerPoint slide. Okay, let's look at these together. Your title should have proper capitalization. In an English title, capitalize nouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs, and the first word. So, careers is a noun, capital C. Paper is a noun, capital P. The second problem is the title is trying to say that the best career for a parakeet is to be a paper shredder. So this is actually supposed to be a colon, 冒号. You are explaining, you are giving the answer. You're giving extra information. So not a semicolon, a regular colon. Finally, there's one more problem with the title. How many careers are we looking at? One. So it's best career singular. One career. Okay, now for the main entries. Basic principle is the grammar has to be the same. And in this case, every line should begin with a capital letter. If you have one of those lists where like you have an introductory sentence here, actually, I'll talk about that later. That's another way to fix this slide. Currently, I see two ways we can, in general, fix this. One is make every line a sentence, one complete sentence. If we do it this way, every bird earns a good salary, period, because it's a complete sentence. Excellent working conditions, you probably have to have, like, every bird has excellent working conditions, period. Each bird has an assistant, period, no and. And also, why does it say every bird in number 1, but each bird in number 3? The meaning is different, but in this case, you don't need these different meanings. Change one of them. You can use every or you can use each. Your choice. Number 4, every or each bird has. Okay. So this needs to be turned into one noun phrase. Has a veterinary insurance plan with a low deductible. So we don't have two verbs. And then last one, every or each bird has a lowercase s seed break once an hour. One break per hour. So it's singular. So that's one way you can fix this. Another way to fix this is every line is a noun phrase. So line 1 is a good salary, capital A. Line 2, excellent working conditions, capital E. And in this case, no period, because these are not complete sentences. Number 3, an assistant. Capitalize the un. Number 4, capital. Sorry, a capital veterinary insurance plan, again, with a low deductible. And number 5, take out the period. So that way each line is a noun phrase. You can, and if you have like each line is a noun phrase, you can in fact turn these into complete sentences. If you add an introductory sentence here, if you say, each bird will have, colon, let me write this for you. If in front of the list, or sorry, on top of the list, you write, each bird will have, right? And then you begin the list. A good salary. Now, because you are technically now writing a sentence, you should use a semicolon at the end. Good. Excellent working conditions, semicolon. Okay, and then you keep going because you're making a list. You're using semicolons to make a list. So the last one, low deductible, semicolon, and. And then the last one is seed breaks once an hour, right? So, and then you do have to have this period. So I'll write this out. Once an hour. So your full list will look like this. Each bird will have A, semicolon, B, semicolon, blah, 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 semicolon, and last one, period. That's another way you can write this. Do we have other answers? Okay, so do you have questions about this page? Okay, so I have some good news. I have some bad news and some good news. The bad news is your homework is to the end of page 24. The good news is a lot of these questions are not too hard. Now, there is one more thing I have to tell you to prepare you for this homework. If I can find it. Please turn to page. Where is it? Page 24. Please turn to page 24. The last part on page 24 is asking you the difference between two meanings of the word so. Here's the thing. There is a phrase called so that. Sorry. So that just means in order that, in order to, or in order that. To create the possibility for doing this. Usually, you should not omit the that. It should always be so that. But sometimes when you're talking really fast, you might omit the that. So this question is asking you, when you see the word so, is it so that, or is it so as in therefore? And if it's so that, add a that. If it's so as in therefore, add a comma in front of the so. Okay? Okay, so that's the homework. See you next week.